Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel. This is my review for Free Guy, which stars Ryan Reynolds and is directed by Shawn Levy. The movie follows Guy, played by Ryan Reynolds, who lives in Free City and works at the bank. Every day seems to be just your standard typical day. Around the city, you have a bunch of people wearing sunglasses who do things like rob banks, fly helicopters, kill people, and just all these weird, crazy things that the rest of the citizens in Free City don't do. Guess what? Free City is actually a video game, and Guy is an NPC, or non-player character. One day, though, he has an encounter with one of the player characters, Molotov Girl, and not only does he find himself in love with Molotov Girl, but this also triggers something within the game, considering that he's a non-player character. I haven't seen the trailers in a while, but I'm not going to say much else beyond that, just in case I would spoil some elements. But basically, Guy's actions as a non-player character start to have effects on the game developers, and the real person behind Molotov Girl has a mission of her own in which she kind of needs Guy's help. I may have said that I haven't seen the trailers in a while, but this is one of those movies that comes out every year where you see the trailers for it non-stop, and after a while you kind of get sick of those trailers. I mean, they played everywhere, and I didn't really know what to make of this. I mean, I do like Ryan Reynolds. It has a really good cast beyond just him, but there was something about the concept that the trailer was presenting that just felt very old and very cliche, despite the fact that this is not based off any pre-existing material. And there's also the fact that Shawn Levy's filmography has been mediocre at best. He's directed movies like Big Fat Liar, Cheaper by the Dozen, the Night at the Museum movies, the Pink Panther remake with Steve Martin. Ugh. Real Steel, a lot of people like that movie. I think it's okay. Date Night I actually kind of liked with Steve Carell and Tina Fey, but to me the rest of his filmography has never really excelled beyond Date Night. And that all changed with this movie here, Free Guy. It's hands down the best movie he's directed, but I feel like there's a lot more factors that play into the success of this movie beyond Shawn Levy. For one, the concept itself, while it might feel similar to movies like The Matrix or the Lego Movie, I think it does enough to where it's not a complete ripoff. I know a lot of people have been comparing this movie to The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. I never saw that movie, so I can't really say, but when watching Ryan Reynolds, there's something about his performance as Guy that feels very Jim Carrey-esque, except not 100% over the top, as Jim Carrey would be in some movies like Ace Ventura or Dumb and Dumber. No, Ryan Reynolds is a little more grounded. In a way, he kind of reminds me of Pee Wee Herman, where he's just so innocent, so lovable, and he has a very distinct look with the way he dresses. Throughout the entire movie, most people refer to him as Blue Shirt Guy, and he's just such a likable guy all around. How many times can I say guy? And then you have Jodie Comer, who plays two roles in this movie. Kind of. She plays Molotov Girl, but also her real-life counterpart, Millie Rusk. And the only other movie that I've seen this actress in was her brief cameo as Rey's mother in The Rise of Skywalker. But she's supposed to be in Ridley Scott's The Last Duel. And with this movie being a first impression of her in more of a starring role, I liked her. As Molotov Girl, she is that very typical hard-ass type of video game character that you would make in Grand Theft Auto 5. And I like the evolution of her relationship with Guy, where she just thinks, okay, who are you really? You look like an NPC, but who are you actually? And then it just grows from there. And as Millie in the real world, I actually liked her a lot as well. Joe Keery, who you might remember from Stranger Things, is also in this movie, and he's a little generic in my opinion, but I didn't dislike his character. Taika Waititi is in this movie as the film's villain Antoine, and if I had any criticisms about this movie, it's that I thought Taika Waititi was way too over the top. He is very much that goofy 90s Jim Carrey that you'd see in Ace Ventura. and I just felt like he was too much. Like, I found myself often annoyed by Taika Waititi in this movie. And if I had another complaint about the movie, and this is something that maybe I'm the only one to notice, it's that Christoph Beck, who scored stuff like Frozen, the Ant-Man movies, and WandaVision, he uses a piece of music for some of the romantic segments from a Disney short film that he scored almost 10 years ago called Paper Man. And the score in that short film is so recognizable and, for me, so memorable that when I heard it in this movie, it totally distracted me and I was taken out of it. It's very similar to The Artist, where out of nowhere the Vertigo theme starts playing and you're instantly thinking about Vertigo and not The Artist. But I guess in this case it's not as bad considering that it's the same composer, but it still bugged me. And maybe I'm the only one who will be annoyed by that aspect, but it just took me out of the movie. But that's all I have to say in terms of negatives. The other things I really liked about the movie were just the world of Free City. I mean, it's pretty much Grand Theft Auto, except on a PG-13 level. There are some really clever, creative, and over-the-top scenarios that happen in this game that really do appeal to gamers, but not in a way where it's pandering to them. And if anything, this movie just proved that there are good video game movies out there. It's just they're about video games, not really direct adaptations. Like, for me, the best video game adaptation is still Detective Pikachu, but all the best video game movies are movies about games, like Wreck-It Ralph and this right here. And I also really like the film's theme, especially when it comes to Guy as a character, where, hey, break out of your everyday routine, because at a certain point, it's gonna get boring. Do something adventurous, do something courageous, do something that's out of the norm, and just learn to appreciate those moments. So I really like that theme. And all the positives that I just listed throughout this entire review doesn't make this a good movie. It makes it a great movie, and for that, I'd say it's worth seeing in your lifetime. This year has had a lot of surprises in terms of movies, things that I just thought would be tolerable at best or absolute train wrecks, and they ended up being pretty good. And I think this might be the biggest surprise of the year, because I've seen that trailer a lot, not in a while, but I've seen it a lot, and I kind of got annoyed with it. But for me to like this movie as much as I did, I'm curious if it's going to stick around for the top 10. It might not, but as of right now, it's certainly going to be the biggest surprise of 2021. And there you go, that's my review for Free Guy. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. Hello everyone, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching my review for Free Guy. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go check out my Twitch channel, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.